Hello YouTube, what's going on? Shane2K here, and today I am bringing you Week 2 Power Rankings, Players of the Week, Game of the Week, and Game to Watch next week. If you didn't see last week's episode, you probably did because I got a lot of mean comments about it, but that's fine. I love the feedback, if I'm being honest. A lot of people complained about where the St. Louis Battlehawks were, and I'm okay with the criticism, so thank you guys for that so much. Today, I hope I did better. It took me about an hour to make the rankings. I also have the flu, just letting you know, so if I sound a little congested or anything, I'm sorry about that. But week 2 of the XFL wasn't as good as last week by far, but the attendance numbers were still really good, and we have a lot to talk about. So let's just hop into number 1 in my power rankings, the Houston Roughnecks, who have not moved since last week. The Roughnecks showed their dominating offense and how it will be a force to be messed with all season. This team and the next one on the list are the only teams that remain undefeated on the season, both at 2-0. PJ Walker threw for 3 touchdowns, all to the same guy, Cam Phillips, while the team put up a Week 2 high of 28 points and beat a very good Battlehawks by 4 points. This team looks absolutely unstoppable, and that is until they play the next team on the list, which will be the best game of the season, in my opinion. At the number 2 spot, we have the DC Defenders. In the same spot as last week, they make XFL history, having the first shutout in the league's history, beating a favored Guardians 27-0 in DC. This defense is very easily number 1 in the XFL, and the offense isn't so bad either, and they have a very dominant showing against an offensively struggling Mount Gloin and the New York Guardians. At the number 3 spot, we have the St. Louis Battlehawks. Well, you guys happy now? The amount of comments I got saying I didn't give enough praise to St. Louis got proven absolutely wrong today. I kept them in 3rd due to how well they did against the Houston Roughnecks, only losing 24-28 against this team, but this game was also easily game of the week. Jordan Ta'amo threw for 284 yards, 3 touchdowns, but threw also 2 interceptions. This team will have a good season, but the number 3 spot is where they shall remain. In the number 4 spot, we have the Dallas Renegades. This game sucked. There's no easy way to say it. Their quarterback wasn't what we were expecting him to be, and I was just left there really bored and flipping through Twitter. I'm sorry to say it, Dallas, but this is going to be a pretty awful season. Week 1 losing to an interception, this week barely beating an awful team. I just don't get what's going on with Stoops and this team, and I hope they figure it out. Not much to say here. They did move up 1 because they won. But, yeah, it's going to be a long season for the Dallas Renegades. At the number 5 spot, not moving up or down, are the Seattle Dragons. This home crowd advantage proved well and debatably the greatest venue fan-wise in all of sports, CenturyLink Field. In the best game of the first day, the Dragons bested the Vipers 17-9. The Vipers did not allow a single offensive touchdown this game and forced 3 interceptions between 2 quarterbacks that played. I doubted this team last week, putting them in 5th, and I paid for it, making them still number 5, but in a way better game. Seattle Dragons 5th. In the number 6 spot, we have the New York Guardians. No shocker here, probably or could have been lower, but hey, they made great history. They're the first team to ever be shut out. Nice job, New York. You're the closest to winning since the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl or since the last time the Knicks won a game. Classic New York sports. Wouldn't be amazed if the team drops Mount Gloin later in the season. Not a very good showing from this team at all. Hoping they can rebound, though. Go Guards. At number 7, we have the Los Angeles Wildcats, who did not move up or down. I'm impressed with how this team played and rebounded from Week 1 especially, but that's as far as the compliments are going to go. They beat a not-so-great Dallas team, and it'll be a long season in regards to the Los Angeles Wildcats. The only thing we can hope for is that Sean Oakman does well, though. Now, last and definitely least, remaining at the 8th spot, didn't move from last week, still worse in the league. The Tampa Bay Vipers, yeah, we don't need to say anything. This team's going 0-10. I'm sorry. This team has a sloppy QB, pretty lackluster offense all around, put up 12 points in 2 weeks, and awful defense. Like, come on, I don't even want to talk about this team. For my game of the week pick, it was Roughnecks versus Battlehawks. This game was electric start to finish. Everyone wanted to see PJ Walker and the Houston Roughnecks and how they would do in week 2 of the season. The hat trick with Cameron Phillips was one of the best parts of the season by far, and this game on the other side of the ball wasn't too bad either. In a boring week 2 of XFL, this game definitely capped off the week. And for Offensive Player of the Week, we have PJ Walker, who threw 3 touchdowns, had a 1-point conversion rush, 170-yard passing, and a 111 passer rating. Now, the Twitter did snub of him of even giving him a spot for the star spot, but last week we had a 4-touchdown PJ Walker that did get my Player of the Week offensively pick, and that blew everyone away. This time we have a 3-touchdown game, all to one guy. That's pretty tough. I also saw this crazy stat that he alone had more touchdowns than like 3 other teams. I mean, that's like Patrick Mahomes stats. Oh, and speaking of Patrick Mahomes, look at this pass! Look at it! Like, come on, this man is going to win MVP in this season if he continues to dominate like this. It was really tough to decide between him and Cam Phillips, so if it's any consolation, Cam got second for the week, in my pick. For Defensive Player of the Week, I have to give it to Will Smith, who had 2 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 pass deflection. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air over here. Will Smith had 2 tackles for the LA Wildcats and an interception that tied up the game at one point, and a deflected pass. Man went off. So far in both weeks, there hasn't been a clear Defensive Player of the Week, so it's kind of tough, but he adds his name to the interception club for the season. And for Special Teams Player of the Week, it will be going to Justin Vogel, who had 226 punting yards. 60 yards was his longest punt. There's no video on this guy, but he was the only bright spot in the New York Guardians, and this was a phenomenal punt job by Justin Vogel. By the way, XFL.com does not keep punt stats, so I have to do the calculations by myself. Someone else might have had a couple more yards than him, but nice job to Vogel. The only good thing about the Guardians this week. In the newest segment of this series, Play of the Week was the double forward pass by the DC Defenders. Made some real history with this play. I expect it to certainly be the first of many. It was very cool to watch and experience live during the game. It didn't win them the game, but I feel like they tried it just because they were up by so much. But a really cool play and history and Play of the Week for week 2. And lastly, the game to watch next week. Now watch all of them because they're all pretty good. New York Guardians at the St. Louis Battlehawks. It's the return of professional football to St. Louis. They've been waiting many years now, and I honestly expect this to be the first sellout crowd for this season, and I wouldn't be amazed by it whatsoever. It is a subpar matchup at best, and it goes the same for the rest of the XFL in Week 3, but this will be a game to watch, and it starts the day off for Sunday at 3 p.m. on ESPN. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to make it better than last week because last week was made awfully at like 5 a.m., finished at 6 a.m., posted at like 6:30. So, but I took about 2 hours just to even commentate this. It took me 2 hours to make the entire list and everything. I have the flu, so please don't be in the comments about my voice. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy President's Day. That's all. Love you guys so much. Like the video, sub up, and comment what you thought of XFL Week 2. That's all. Love you guys. Peace out.